I really think you're gonna find some unique things here on my list because these are all things that I didn't see or hear on anyone else's list like this. So hey guys, it's KJ from Disney Mom Life. Welcome or welcome back. Today I am here to share with you the things I wish I knew before I went on my first Disney cruise. If you guys are new to our channel, we do a ton of Disney videos, lots of Disney cruise videos, Walt Disney World videos, videos having to do with tips and tricks for taking your toddler to Walt Disney World. We also do a lot of shop with me's and home decorating, home decor. But don't worry, I always point out the Disney items in my shop with me's, and of course my home decor always features Disney because we love Disney here. And we would love to have you subscribe if you like that type of content. If you could give this video a big thumbs up, it really helps spread the word about our channel and gets it in front of other folks who love Disney, who love shop with me's and love home decorating, and we would really appreciate it. But without further ado, let me get into my things that I wish I knew before I went on my first Disney cruise. Now, a little background here. Before I went on my first Disney cruise, I watched a ton of videos like this. I can't even tell you how many videos on things I wish I knew before my first Disney cruise, or tips for first-time Disney cruisers. I read tons of blogs, listened to podcasts, the works. So I feel like my tips are a bit unique because there are a lot of things that I did know that I wouldn't have otherwise known. So I felt like I went in knowing a lot. So that said, I really think you're gonna find some unique things here on my list because these are all things that I didn't see or hear on anyone else's list like this. So without further ado, let's dive in. Now, these are in no particular order. I'm just gonna go through my list of things I wish I knew before my first Disney cruise. So the first thing was, before we even went on the Disney cruise, everyone was like, you have to check in as soon as possible to get the best boarding group. Well, I checked in, I think like 2 or 3 days after I was like eligible to check in because I just forgot. I have baby brain, I'm pregnant, I work a 9-to-5 job, I have 2 toddlers, and just, it slipped my mind. And guess what boarding group we got, you guys? Out of 40. Got group 4. So I wish I hadn't stressed out as much as I did because, now listen, I know that's probably not the norm, but we did luck out. But if I could go back, I just wouldn't have stressed out about it. Like, we would have gotten on the ship anyway, but it just so happened we lucked out and got boarding group 4, which was amazing. The next thing I wish I knew, and this is kind of a big one for me because if you know me, I love taking pictures or like having pictures taken of my family and that kind of thing. So unlike Walt Disney World, when you have PhotoPass photographers who will take pictures on your personal camera or phone, they do not do that on the Disney Cruise Line. So the first night, we waited in line for about 20 minutes to have our photo taken in the main lobby in front of where the Kiss Goodnight is, that big chandelier. And we got up there, you know, go to hand my phone to the photographer, and he's like, oh, I can't take it on that. I was like, what do you mean? We don't take personal pictures. And I was like, oh, well, I wish I had known this. So that was a bit of a bummer. Now, we really never ran into that issue again. The only reason I even waited in line was because I wanted a picture of us in our like Disney cruise shirts the first day because I realized we hadn't taken any. But the rest of the trip, we just had other cast members or other folks take our picture. So again, I do wish I had known that though going in, just to like set my expectations. It is not like Walt Disney World. The next thing I wish I knew, you cannot fit your double wide stroller into the stateroom. You have to fold it up before you go in. So, you know, if the kids fell asleep, which they did when we went to Castaway Cay, we had our stroller and we couldn't go back to the room. We had to, because my kids don't transfer very well, so we had to just kind of hang out wherever we could, let them nap, and then, you know, we can go back to the room. So that was kind of a bummer, but also the double wide stroller is difficult to navigate around the ship. That is something else I wish I had known. We ended up leaving the stroller in the room basically the entire time. We really didn't need it, but the ship is not really double wide stroller friendly. So again, you don't really need it, but if you did, you probably want a tandem stroller or just like an umbrella stroller or something, and just have 2 umbrella strollers because it's just not really easy to navigate a double wide stroller. In a lot of the videos I watched that were things I wish I knew kind of videos for the Disney cruise, people said that your kids could not go in the pools if they were not potty trained. Well, there's a little bit of a not a loophole there, but they can't go in the main pools. There's a wading pool that your kids can go in, and my kids were completely happy. Like, my little guy was 18 months at the time, so not yet potty trained, and I was like, oh, you know, he's not gonna be able to go in any of the pools, but when he will be able to, so it's like, how are we gonna do this? They have a small wading pool. I thought it was just on the Wish based on what everyone had said. No, apparently they have them on all the ships. So if you're concerned that your little one will not have pool access, there are wading pools, and the one on the Disney Wish is right across from the splash pad. So my kids just sort of went back and forth. They played in the splash pad and then they played in the wading pool. John did take Winnie here and there to some of the bigger pools, but even the bigger pools are not that deep. So my kids were very happy in the wading pool. So don't stress if you hear your kids can't go in the pool. If they're not potty trained, there is a wading pool and it's great for toddlers. Something else I wish I had known, I searched the room high and low for a room service menu because the videos I'd seen, everyone showed a room service like physical menu. It's actually in the app. They do have one that you can hang on the door for breakfast, for things that are like continental breakfast type items. That is in the room. However, the actual like menu that they used to have, it's not there anymore. It's in your phone and it's a little bit tricky to find, but it is in there. So if you want to order room service and you cannot find the menu, ask a cast member and they can show you where it is in the Navigator app. This is something I really wish I had known before going on a cruise. The first night we ate in Arendelle, and where our table was, I was facing the ocean. Don't do this if you get motion sickness or seasickness, because apparently looking at the ocean makes it a heck of a lot worse. Now, again, I was pregnant now, at the time of filming, and I was pregnant when we went on the cruise, and it just didn't really help the fact that, you know, I already sort of was just kind of like getting through the phase of morning sickness. But yeah, it was, don't do it. Don't look at the ocean like while you're moving. Don't do it. It will just make you more sick. For the Disney Wish specifically, they have a ton of outlets. I had brought all these adapters that had like extra USB plugs and everything. You don't need them. I didn't need them. I mean, unless you have like way more vlogging equipment and tablets and things and whatnot. But you know, we have 2 kids with tablets. John and I have all of our stuff. We are vloggers, so we have all of that equipment. I didn't need any of that stuff, so it was just a little bit of extra stuff that I packed that I didn't need. I can't say the same for the other ships. It does look like on the other ships that you do need those sort of things, but if you're on the Disney Wish, there are so many outlets. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, we did do a room tour, so you guys can check that out. I will link that here. Try to link it below if I remember, and I'll definitely put it up top though. So check that out and you can see what I'm talking about. There are tons of outlets in the Disney Wish staterooms. I did join a Facebook group for our cruise, and they did do the fish extenders in there. So I thought by how many groups they had that there'd be a lot of people that did fish extenders. It turns out there really aren't that many. Like on our entire floor, we were on deck 7. I walked up and down the hallways, and I think like we came across one other person that had a fish extender. Now we didn't do the fish extenders. We had one because I did something with the kids. Like I put some stuff in there for them every night, and we did get pixie dusted, which was really nice. But we had brought stuff to pixie dust other people, and I couldn't find anybody. So I don't know where everybody was with these fish extenders, but at least on our deck, we also went up to deck 8 because I want to check out the laundry. We did do a tour of the entire ship. Once that video is out, make sure you check it out. But that said, I wanted to find the laundry. So we did walk up and down deck 8. And again, there was nobody with a fish extender. So I wish I had known that because I would have done something different. And that's the, speaking of my next thing I wish I had known, the traveling ducks. I did not know this was a thing. People will hide these little rubber duckies like throughout the ship, and they're so cute, and it's just like such a fun thing to do, and I wish we had known that. Actually, our last night, Winnie did find one, and that's how I found out about them. So I do wish I had known about the traveling ducks because I think I would have done that instead of the fish extender gifts to pixie dust people with, because I didn't give one to anybody because I couldn't find anyone with fish extenders. So on our next cruise, I'm definitely going to get the Disney traveling ducks instead of doing pixie dusting in the fish extenders, because I just think that will work better for us personally. Something else I wish I had known is you don't need the lanyards. I know everyone says you need the lanyards, this is the best thing to have, but you don't need them if you're someone that likes to carry around, you know, the personal bag. Like I always have a fanny pack on, I keep my phones in that. So, and John also just always has his wallet on him. If you're like me and you just keep your phones on you, I don't have pockets all the time, so I have like a little fanny pack, so my phones were in there, so I was able to keep my key to the world card in there. I just found like the lanyard would get in the way, and also I didn't want any of my pictures and whatnot. So if you think you're gonna have like a little fanny pack or something, or like just like a tiny little crossbody bag that you just keep whatever you need, like your chapstick or your lipstick or your phone or whatever. We didn't even really use our key to the world card. I think the only time we used it was to get on and off Castaway Cay and to purchase items on Castaway Cay. We didn't use it at all the rest of the trip. So if you guys know when people use them, let me know in the comments down below, because that's the only time we ever used ours. My next thing I wish I had known, and this is actually specific to Castaway Cay, but I'm going to throw it in there anyway. The food on Castaway Cay was delicious. I love barbecue, but it is not very toddler friendly. So I wish I had known this because there really wasn't anything my kids wanted to eat. They didn't even have like mac and cheese. They don't have peanut butter and jelly or anything like that. So if your kids are picky eaters, make sure you bring some stuff. You can get an Uncrustable from room service. You can bring that with you, or just bring whatever snacks you have. Like I brought a few snacks, so my kids were okay, but I would have brought more, or I would have gotten an Uncrustable or something to like tide them over till we went back to the ship, because the barbecue just was not toddler friendly at all. Next up, arrive early to the shows. We arrived 15 to 20 minutes early. It was not early enough. The first night it was okay. We had like decent seats, but nights 2 and 3, we got there like 15 minutes early. It was not early enough. We were to the back on the side. We're in the Walt Disney Theater. It is 8:21. We got here about 8:19 or 8:18. And I don't know if it's just because the first night isn't as popular, but we got here about 8:15 the first night and had not our pickup seats, but we had a decent amount of seats to choose from. Not in the center, but like on the sides. And then the last 2 nights, tonight and yesterday, we got here around 8:20 both nights, and it just wasn't early enough. But if good seats are a priority for you, I'd say you got to get there like 20 to 30 minutes before, and don't let the first night fool you, because it fooled us. So if you want to get good seats, get there early. The next thing I wish I knew, if you were going to meet a character like Spider-Man, because we had no issues with the other characters, but if you're going to meet one of the Marvel characters down in the kids club, get there early. We got there, and I mean early, we got there 20 minutes early. Like I think it was like 8:30, and we got there, you know, maybe like 10 after 8. We waited for an hour to meet Spider-Man. An hour. So that's like, again, that's priority to you. Get there early, because you will be waiting in line for a long time. And funny thing, we met Black Panther the day before in the kids club, when it was like the open kids club, and it was just, he just kind of like is hanging out, but you can go up to him and take a picture, and we didn't wait at all. So, you know, where Spider-Man had been there too, so that we could have gotten both of them. But the Black Panther line started after the Spider-Man line, and it was so long because we were one of the last people to meet Spider-Man. Like, we were just like, wow, good that we met Black Panther the day before, because that line was like super long too. And then you're like in line for like 2 hours. So just get there early. My next tip is to have a game plan for embarkation day. We thought we had a game plan, but we realized that the ship is not stroller friendly, and we had the stroller because we couldn't go to our room yet, but we needed the stroller. Like we couldn't not have the stroller because we had to wait at the port, and then getting on the ship, like there's just no way we could have done that without the stroller. But I do wish we had had a better game plan. Like for example, the kids club, there's more than one open house, and we did the one on the first day, and I probably would have skipped that and done that the second day so that the kids could play there, because I'm guessing that one probably wasn't as crowded. We decided to skip the pool. Kind of wish we had done the pool instead, because we could have left our double stroller there. So just have a game plan and do your research and know what you want to do on embarkation day, because I feel like we sort of missed out. Like I wish we had done the sit down dining instead of Marceline Market the first day. So just do your research and, you know, have a game plan that first day. The next thing I wish I knew, that the tours had an age limit. So I thought we could take a tour of the ship. You can't with little ones. There is an age requirement. I'm not sure if it's 16 and up or 18 and up, but you do have to be a certain age to do it. And anyone can do it as long as you're of a certain age. The next thing I wish I knew is that merch sells out so quick. We had dining at Arendelle the first night, which lets out into the main store on the Disney Wish. The store opened, I think, at 7. We were there at like 7:15. The Spirit jerseys, gone. They had like double XL, triple XL, and that was it. So had I known that it was going to be that crazy, because everyone's like, just make sure you buy what you want like the first night, because it will sell out by the end of the cruise. This like sold out in like 15 minutes. So had I known this, I would have like sent John, or I would have like waited online to like get into the store, got my Spirit jersey, and like then gone back to eat. But you know, you live, you learn. So that's something I wish I would have known. The next thing I wish I would have known, there is no cast discount at Castaway Cay. I'm not sure about DVC and APs, so double check that. But usually if cast members don't get discounts, a lot of times APs don't. Not always the case, but sometimes that is the case. So just if you are an AP, or if you happen to be a cast member like us, you do not get a cast discount at Castaway Cay. The next thing I wish I would have known, which I sort of mentioned earlier, that the kids club has more than one open house. So had I known this, I would have skipped the one on the first day and gone to the one on the second day, because I just think it probably would have been a lot less crowded. And I wanted my kids to experience it and like get to check it out. But the first day was just very chaotic. So again, I would have done it the second day had I known that there was more than one. The next thing I wish I would have known, Nassau days are really like days at sea. I kind of knew this. Some of my YouTube friends, Bob and Kelly, had just gone on the Disney Wish maybe like a month before we did. And they were saying that the Nassau day was like felt just like a day at sea. However, it was like really bad weather for them. So I was like, I chalked it up to maybe it was just bad weather and people didn't want to go off the ship. Well, we had good weather our Nassau day, and basically it felt like no one got off the ship. Not that it really changed anything, but I think I would have had different expectations going in because I thought the ship would be a lot emptier, but it wasn't. It was like just as full as if it was a day at sea. The next thing I wish I would have known, I actually didn't know this, but John didn't know this and he wished he had known it, so I'm just gonna throw it in there. The stores are only open when you're at sea. They're not open in port. So if you go on a cruise like we did, which was a 3-night cruise, you're basically in port like almost the whole time except at night. So John was like, I never have time to go to the store. So just know if you're going on a shorter cruise like we did where you're at port basically the whole time, the cruise stores are only open when you're at sea. The next thing on my list is you don't need to get the Wi-Fi package. No, we didn't get the Wi-Fi package, but like we spent a lot of time at guest services like going through it. And it was just kind of a waste of our time had we known this in advance. The cast member was so great and he explained everything to us, but you know, had I known it again, this in advance, I would have just like skipped asking him this question. You don't need the Wi-Fi package. Like you really don't, unless you're someone that wants to be posting things on social media, which when I'm on a cruise or when I'm on vacation, I kind of like to unplug. So I personally did not need the Wi-Fi. That said, if you have an iPhone, you can still do iMessage. You connect to the ship's Wi-Fi. You can't send pictures or videos, but you can do iMessage to anyone on the ship or anyone like anywhere. So I was able to text my mom back in New York. So this way, you know, I could just let her know how things were going. Couldn't send her pictures of the kids, but at least, you know, I could tell her like how our day was and what we were up to. And like, you know, I'm alive, mom. So that was really nice that we were able to do that. The last thing that I wish I had known, my final tip here is when they do the call to let everyone know your staterooms are ready, because everyone's staterooms are ready at the same time. Doesn't mean your luggage will be ready. Ours happens to be, but it doesn't mean your luggage will be there. But it does mean you can go to your stateroom. They're all ready, like I said, at the same time. Don't go right away. It is so crowded and so chaotic. We had such a hard time with the double stroller getting down the hall, like I mentioned earlier. Just wait 15, 30 minutes and then go, and it's just so much easier. So with that, those are all the things that I wish I knew before I went on my first Disney cruise. If you guys liked today's video, I would really love it if you could give it a big thumbs up. Like I said, it helps spread the word about our channel and gets it in front of other folks who love Disney and Disney Cruise Line. If you are new and you do like the content, we would love to have you subscribe. Turn that red subscribe button gray. We would love to have you join our internet fam. And if you guys have any things you wish you knew before your first Disney cruise that I did not mention that you think are just something that people need to know, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear it and I would love to share it with anyone else who's reading the comments or watching this video. So with that said, I will see you guys real soon. Bye!